Hello and welcome. If you haven't already, I invite you to please click subscribe. There's no obligation, and it allows you to be notified of all new chapters. Additional information about the story, including the author, chapter warnings, and rating, can be found in the description below. All credit goes to the original author. Bleeding Skies by Orphan Account. Chapter 5 The Blanket. Scott frantically runs his hands through his sweaty hair, realizing he feels helpless for the first time in ages. All of them, so strong when they fight their supernatural enemies, are totally frozen in their fear they might lose the only human in their group due to one stupid decision. Staring at his best friend, who pants quietly, Scott knows he won't be able to fix this on his own. He watches Stiles quietly trying to force some of the pain out of his system, knowing that he won't succeed in doing so. He retreated into a constant heaving, the only sound apart from the fire that protrudes the humid skies. Malia looks up as she sits behind Stiles, staring at the sun settling down over them, realizing it's going to get dark in an hour at the latest. The skies seem to be bleeding, a heavy red painting the heavens. And still, it remains so hot and humid, she just wants to scream out her frustration. The car blew up less than 10 minutes ago, but it feels like they've been here forever. Stiles releases a bit of his tension, his right hand stretching out as he flexes his wrist and fingers. His eyes remain closed as he focuses on pushing out some of the pain. Gently, Lydia rubs his back and shoulder, telling Stiles he's doing fine, while her eyes fixate on Malia. She knows her friend doesn't know how to deal with the pain of others, let alone the one person who means the most to her. "Just let him know you're there," she whispers, her eyes then seeking out Scott for support. He's their leader. He will figure out what to do. But Scott, feeling so horribly helpless, searches aid from Derek, not realizing the older wolf is barely able to constrain his anger, frustrations, as he watches Stiles suffer. "We're less than 20 flight minutes away from Palm Springs," Scott whispers to Derek. "I can make a run for it and head out there, get help. I'm fast. I can cross the desert in an hour or two at the most." "How? And in what direction would you go? This whole place is a maze, Scott. You'd be running blind. We have no idea where we are, and it's dangerous out there. If you get lost, even as a werewolf, you can wander around for days. You can still suffer from sunstroke throughout the days and die from dehydration. And let's not forget the icy cold desert nights and the mountain lions roaming about. You'll wind up as their food if they catch your scent. They'll chase you and pack." "Then what do I do? Stick around and watch him die?" Scott nearly cries out. "No, you won't, and he's not going to die," Derek sharply retorts. "Don't even think in that direction. You stay here and take care of him. He's better off with all of us here. Sooner or later, someone will know we're missing." "Not before it might be too late," Liam blurts out. "Scott's right. We can both run for it." "No, we stick together," Derek says firmly. "I need both of you here. We need to drain the pain out of him for as long as we can, while we find a way to get help down here. We've got the plane and its radio. We need to get help here instead of going out there and search for it blindly." "Can't we carry him with us if we all go?" Liam asks. "We can balance the weight between us. We can carry him. All of us are strong enough. Then we're still together, right?" "Too dangerous. Any wrong move could kill him," Lydia immediately replies. "If his lung truly is punctured, we can't move him for such a long time without the risk of losing him. And it's going to get cold out here tonight. He's already in shock. The risk of hypothermia is too great." "Then what do we do?" Malia asks, her voice so strange she can barely speak. "We go with Derek's opinion. The most sensible thing to do is get him on board of that plane and radio in for help, and then we'll hope they'll find us quickly. Taking the lead, the Banshee moves away from Stiles for a moment, focusing on her distraught friends. Come on, guys. We've been through worse. Stiles needs us. We're no use to him if we all start panicking now. We focus on him and we get him out of here alive. That is what we focus on. That's our goal, okay? Okay. Scott takes deep breaths, looking at Lydia. Thank you. She smiles back weakly. Scott returns to his leader's position as he takes over from a very pale and shaking Lydia. Liam, Malia, head back out to the plane and find out if you can get the radio to work. See if you can find blankets and medical equipment, anything that might help Stiles. We need to focus on what we have on the plane and use that to our benefit. Lydia feels extremely grateful for Scott's curt and efficient reactions, having difficulty concentrating as she fights the battle against her pounding ears and her fear for Stiles' life. Malia leans over Stiles and kisses him gently. I'll be back, she whispers. Then she reluctantly crawls up and runs back to the plane with Liam, leaving him under Scott's care. Derek is kneeling down again, returning to his position behind Stiles in order to support him. The hurt human opens his eyes for a second, finding his gaze. Derek places his hand on Stiles' wrist, taking away some of the pain, knowing it's not by far good enough. I'm sorry, he whispers. Selfish jerk, Stiles mutters, a sly smile on his face. Planes, huh? Psychic idiot, the Jeep, hey? Was nice to see you smile. Derek eyes him dangerously. After a second of debate, he grins. If we make it out, I'll pay for decent upholstery for that wreck of yours. Not brown. Black, then? White is for pimps. Beige is pretty nice. Girl magnet. Stiles snorts at that, coughing immediately after. Just shut up now and let us help you, Derek says gently, ending their teasing. How are we going to move him? Scott asks, troubled. If we lift him up, we might hurt him more. I can carry him, Derek suggests. He doesn't weigh that much. He can stay in this position if it helps him fight the pain. I'll carry him in my arms. No, Stiles mumbles with closed eyes. Walk. You're not picking me up. Derek frowns as he listens to Stiles' ragged breaths, knowing they might kill him just by moving him, but they don't have a choice. He kneels down. Stiles, you can't walk. Carrie will kill, Stiles whispers. Derek stands and pulls Scott away to a short distance, while Lydia stays with Stiles. Making sure Stiles doesn't hear them, the wolves discuss. This is bad, Scott, Derek admits. It's really, really, really bad. Truth be told, I'm at a loss here. I don't even know where to start fixing this. But I do know he needs help now, and we're not the people to give it to him. We need help from the outside now. He needs to be in a hospital. There isn't any help, Scott retorts sharply. There are no hospitals, in case you didn't notice. Then we have to find one, or he dies, Scott. The Alpha nods, staring at Stiles' heaving and shaking body as his lungs try to suck in air he can't seem to hold on to. Lydia holds both of his hands now, still whispering to him. Her voice seems to have a relaxing effect on him. He listens to whatever she's saying. Derek sighs deeply, straightening his back. We're going to lose him. Derek's words work like a sharp knife piercing Scott's abdomen, and suddenly, as he looks at the scene, He knows what to do. Okay, Scott says, calmly returning. Okay, first things first. Let's get him back on that plane, out of the sun as discussed. We'll carry him together. Let him choose. We'll get him into a good position there, which might help him breathe better. This humidity is not doing him any good either. He might be able to breathe better when he's out of the heat. Derek nods. Leave the pilot's body here. There's nothing we can do for him anyhow. We'll radio for help if Liam and Malia can get it to work. If it doesn't work, we'll go with my plan and I'll run out for help with Liam. The two of us might be able to find it quicker. Lydia looks up. If we can get the radio to work, hopefully we'll find someone who can help us with first aid and instructions on what to do to keep him alive until they get here. And then we'll try to keep Stiles as comfortable as we can while we wait for the cavalry. You guys take turns extracting the pain from him until they get here. Derek looks at the strawberry blonde. That sounds like a plan. The two wolves return to Stiles, who is now silently whimpering, his left hand still pushing against his own chest. Gently, Scott lifts his eyelids. When he looks into his pupils, Scott notices how they have gotten glazed over, as if he's completely drugged on medication. He knows Stiles has a lot of self-control and is able to block out pain, but never before has he seen him do it like this. He's in awe that the human is able to keep his cries of pain behind his gritted teeth. Stiles, he says gently, knowing their voices are all they have to keep him with them. We're right here, and we're all going to help you. But you need to help us too, okay? We can carry you to the plane, or you can walk. But then you need to work with us. What do you want us to do? Stiles seems to focus on his voice and listens intently to him. I can't move, Scott. Yes, you can, Stiles. Come on, you're stronger than that. We need to get you out of the sun. Do you want us to carry you? Are you able to cope with that? Reluctantly, Stiles nods, staring at the oldest werewolf with that same sly grin he keeps only for the oldest wolf, choosing him as the person to carry him. Watch where you put your hands. Derek snorts as he kneels down, while he and Scott gently place their arms behind Stiles' back, slowly pulling him up. Stiles instantly cries out and retreats within himself, screaming as a new sharp pain slices through him. Instinctively, he fights off Derek. This isn't gonna work, Derek mutters as he lowers Stiles again, watching how he clutches his own chest. I can't carry him like this, not if it hurts him so badly. At that moment, Liam runs back down the hill, carrying a blanket he found on the plane. Use this, he says, out of breath, pushing the blanket into Derek's arms. It'll keep him in the same position as we move him. Good thinking, Derek smiles, opening the thin but useful blanket on the sand. Gently, with one gesture, Scott and Derek lift Stiles with one swift haul and place him on top of it. With a loud and sharp cry that runs through their souls like a knife, Stiles moves onto his side again while Lydia supports him. Derek places his hand on his wrist, sucking out some of the pain. Black tendrils move up his arms, making the wolf gasp at the force of them. Stiles' left fingers move until he grasps Derek's tight, allowing the wolf to help him. Then he pulls himself free. Enough, he croaks. That's it, Derek says gently, not listening to him. You're doing great, Stiles. He pulls out the pain until it exhausts him. Stiles finally pulls free, going back to clutching the area of his broken ribs as he closes his eyes. You're doing great, Scott speaks soothingly. That's it, Stiles, we've got you. Now all you have to do is relax and let us carry you back to the plane, okay? You won't pass out, I promise. We're right here, all of us. You're not alone. In other circumstances, Stiles would have laughed at the patronizing tone of voice, but right here, right now, He listens to Scott's smooth talking, clinging onto the strength of his friends like a lifeline. Somehow, deep inside of his brain, he knows that this is the only reason why he's still alive at this very moment. They're keeping him whole. Gently, Derek and Scott lift up the blanket, allowing his body to rock gently on it, while Lydia holds his hand and Liam tries to release him of some of his pain while they move. Every single step the werewolves make cuts like a knife through his chest. Stiles can actually feel his broken ribs move and crunch against each other. It takes all he has in him to not just give up. He pants, out of breath and in pure pain, despite Liam's attempts to help him. After 3 long minutes, they reach the bottom of the hill, literally standing before their biggest challenge yet. Stiles looks up briefly with tears of pain in his eyes, knowing the toughest part is yet to come. He's exhausted by the rocking movement, fighting back the bile in his throat. Just leave me here, he whispers to Liam and Lydia, his face sliding forward against his chest, dark spots dancing before his eyes. You go and be safe. Not a chance, Lydia reacts firmly. It's not that high. You can do it, Stiles. Just close your eyes and think of yourself lingering in that big, luxurious swimming pool. Beautiful girls in bikinis, he mutters. She smiles at the compliment. And gorgeous guys in Speedos. Grasping his hand, she leans forward. You can do it. Just hold on to me. Her voice shakes him out of his stupor. Head lifted high, chin up, Stiles holds on tight for the pain. Up they go, step by step, up the small sandy hill behind which they will find the plain. He listens to Scott's and Derek's breathing and the way they keep going forward, grasping the edges of the blanket tight so he won't fall. In reality, it takes only about 15 steps up. To Stiles, it feels and sounds like they're running a marathon from hell. Constantly sinking in and out of darkness, he allows the voices of his friends to soothe him. They won't let go, so neither will he. He owes them that much.